Now, in its 11th year, this is GabNet. Talk like you've never heard it before.
Live from Harlem in New York City. Yes, it is the Ramble, and I'm Alex Bennett.
Okay, you start recording.
Hey,
Morty says hi,
We're
Alex.
starting to record it. This is Mike Chisholm. Hello, Morty.
Oh, hold on. I gotta. Okay. Okay. Say that again, Alex.
Hello, Morty.
Oh, he can't. He can't hear you. I don't think he can hear you, buddy. Oh, I wish we could. We should do this. We should do this in real time.
Yeah, that's Bob Morty.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna send you the Zoom link right now. I'm gonna send Morty the Zoom link. He's gonna jump in.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I'll send it to you right now, bud.
This is Mike Chisholm,
Okay,
by
bye.
the way, who runs the Letterman podcast. And Bob Morton, who used to be the producer of the David Letterman show, is supposedly going to be calling us on Zoom. You did send him the link, right?
I'm gonna send it to him right now, bud.
Oh, okay. Send it to him.
It'll take me just a second. Oh, this is hilarious. Oh, it's so funny. I didn't. I swear to God, Alex, I did not engineer this. This was not. This is 100% spontaneous, which says to me there are no coincidences, and that's always a good thing.
He rang your phone, right?
He phoned me right as you and I were about to start.
Yeah. Okay.
And this is going to be a lot of fun.
Okay. I hope he gets it, and we can.
I hope he gets it too.
And we can have him join our little gathering here.
Absolutely.
I haven't seen. I think I saw Morty was at Shecky's thing.
Yes, that's where we hung out with him all together.
It's the last time I saw Morty. The last time I saw Morty before that, I think it was a couple of times up at the Letterman offices. And then, well, I'll tell him when he calls. We'll remember the first time we ever met, if he ever calls here. But
yeah,
anyway.
Just give me a second. I just got to copy the link and text it to him.
Oh, you haven't done it yet.
No, it's all happened it all happened at once, buddy.
I can pause this recording till you get all this done.
I don't know. I think it's kind of fun showing people how the sausage gets made, and you can edit if you'd rather. But if you don't want to edit, I totally understand that too.
I don't edit anything. I'm too lazy.
I know, me neither. That's the problem with my show.
I'm too lazy. Have you sent it to him?
Copy link and send to Morty.
Yeah.
Oh, this is so great.
You do know? Are you sending it to him by email?
No, texting it to him.
Texting it to him. Okay. Because
Yeah,
if you do it by
okay.
email,
This should be. He should have it now, and we should be good.
Okay.
Oh my God, this is so exciting to me. I've wanted to do this mashup for a while.
Well, you're so excited, it's ridiculous.
I know, I get that way. That's part of my charm and annoyance as host of the Letterman podcast. The enthusiasm is boundless.
Here we go. And
there we go. Oh my God, this is so great.
Morty!
Now you boys, how are you? Nice to see you guys.
Yeah,
Hello, Alex.
Let me take something off of here because I've got Chisholm's name covering your face. There we go. Now we're okay.
There we go.
Bob Morton, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, Morty was the producer of the David Letterman show for a long time, actually.
Yep. 14 years total.
Late show.
I was with him.
Rather late night, and then later on with the late show. But the first time, you want to tell the first time we ever met?
Well, the first job I ever had in television, one of the first jobs I ever had in television was I sold Manhattan cable TV door to door.
And you were doing it with Stu
Smiley.
Stu
Smiley and I used to sell door to door.
Right.
We were based. Manhattan Cable had their offices. I think this HBO has it now
23rd
on 23rd.
Yeah.
23rd off Lex, and we used to meet in a phone room, and then they'd give us leads, and we'd go out and knock on doors. And where were you? You were on 14th Street.
I was
were
on
you living?
14th Street. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Was it the same building as Bernie Getz?
Absolutely.
I remember
in fact,
that.
he wound up renting my apartment.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
And what they used to do is it was before anybody had cable in
They
Manhattan.
went door
You
to
know,
door. Yeah.
you had your 13 VHF channels, you had fuzzy UHF channels. And what they did was they would set up a television with the cable feed in the lobby, and we would just sign people up who never saw cable TV. But of course, Midnight Blue was the first thing that everybody wanted.
Which
They all said,
I produced.
of course, that's
Yeah.
why I say it. And Midnight Blue was, the first X-rated show ever on television.
Yeah.
And everybody wanted Midnight Blue, except if you got a demo. They used to call them the demos. If you got a demo on Water Street in Manhattan, that was in Chinatown, and there were two big buildings in Chinatown, and they couldn't get anything in Chinese. So on cable, they had these Chinese soap operas and these Chinese channels. It was like printing money.
Yeah,
You would stand in the lobby.
You told me in retrospect that it was easier for you. That was the biggest sale you made were the Chinese stations.
Oh, the Chinese
And
was the
then
greatest.
Midnight Blue was the second biggest.
Midnight Blue was the second biggest. Yep.
Yeah.
And I first met Alex knocking on doors.
Yeah.
I mean, I used to listen to him on radio, for God's sakes. I knew who he was, obviously. I used to listen to you when I was, in college.
This all lives with the statement I make that I used to be a big shot. But go ahead.
Alex, I just read about you in a book, Alex.
What book?
There's a book out on stand-up comedy. I forget the guy's name. I have it upstairs. I'll go get it before we're finished.
Yeah.
And he talks about, being on your show and how you were a big promoter of comedy in San Francisco for so many years.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was very nice reference.
But
I was
you know
thinking
who
of you
else?
last
You know
night.
who else used to listen to my show and mentioned it to Bill Maher? But I'm a little upset by it. Gutfield. You know this guy Gutfield?
Yeah.
This ridiculous right wing bozo.
Well, I don't know if I dislike
he used
him.
to listen to me every morning.
Everybody did. Everybody
Well,
did.
you
I
did
don't.
in New York,
I don't
yeah.
know if I dislike Gutfeld because he's such a right-wing nut or because he's unfunny.
That's another part of it.
There's nothing funny about
But
him.
he thinks he is.
Oh, he thinks
And so therefore he plays funny.
Yeah, he's been anointed the king of late night.
You know, Marjorie and I today, we're just watching a lot of old Lettermans. We find Marjorie never watched the Letterman shows because she didn't get to stay up that late, right?
Yep.
I've been playing them for her, and she agrees with me that Dave was endlessly entertaining.
Endlessly. And, unfortunately, it was only an hour a night that he was endlessly entertaining.
Yeah, that's right.
But it was the hour. But it was the hour that counted.
Wasn't it was an hour and a half though, wasn't it, on late night? No, maybe.
No, it was always an hour.
It was always
an
an hour. Yeah.
Yeah.
But man, you were one of the early producers on that show, and then you went to CBS with him.
Right. First 4.5 years, Barry Sand was the producer, and I was a segment producer. I was the number 2 producer.
Yeah.
And then I took over and ran the show for the rest of the time for 9 more years, 10 more years.
Yeah.
So,
and so
it's funny. I watched last night what I consider one of the best interviews I've ever seen Letterman do.
What was that?
Which one?
It was on that Busy Phillips does a show on the Home Shopping Network.
Yep.
And her sidekick is a woman named Casey St. Ange, who was Letterman's assistant for many years. And
We've had her on our show.
And she's a lovely woman, and she roped Letterman into doing this home shopping there. He'll do anything if he's invited these days.
Really?
No, not anything, Morty. Not anything.
Oh, he better do you. If he's doing her, he better do you.
Yeah, he better.
I'll send that to Tom. See what he says.
Yeah.
But it was one of the most revealing interviews, and he was totally taken aback. Nothing was planned. It was very good.
By the way, I'll tell you a story about Dave, though, that we'll get to. Dave, I was up at the studio one day to see Shecky, because Shecky, is my lifetime friend.
Of course.
And Dave walks by and sees what's going on, and later on he comes into Shecky and says, "Was he bothering you?" He said, "That guy is on late night cable on that sex show."
That's funny.
Yeah,
That's
he was
funny.
bothered by that. He thought that I was, a troublemaker, right?
Oh, that's funny. That's
Yeah,
so funny.
yeah,
Oh my
yeah,
God.
yeah. But I mean, that's Dave, I guess.
But something, had he known, and I'm sure he knows who you are very well, and I'm sure he would respect you tremendously because you're the quintessential broadcaster. I mean, and I think Letterman respects broadcasters
Yeah.
more than anybody. I think it's why he loves Jimmy Kimmel, because
Yep.
Kimmel, filled radio time for so many
Kimmel
years.
also
Yeah.
understands what that show demands,
Yes.
and he does it. He obviously being influenced a great deal by Letterman.
Yes, very much so.
But he does it well, and I think that's the important part. I don't
Yeah.
think a lot of the other people do it well. I don't think Fallon does it well, and I don't know about Colbert. Everybody's saying how wonderful he is, but. Yeah, he did a lot of politics and things like that. But quite frankly, I think Jimmy does more in that area than anybody. He's been
Yeah.
after Trump relentlessly.
And he gets things done, what he did with the healthcare and all that stuff when his kid was sick. I mean, Jimmy is a highly, how could I say, respected world citizen. He's a decent guy.
Yeah, that's
And
that's a
so
good
is
way to put it.
Steven. Steven's a great guy.
Oh,
They're all great guys.
Colbert's fine, but he wasn't my cup of tea.
Well, I can't wait to see what happens with Steven once May comes around, because I think about him as a correspondent on the Daily Show and how mischievous he was and clever in that mischief.
Yeah.
And I'm very curious what he is going to be like when he doesn't have the mantle of CBS's late night show, premier late night show, which wouldn't have existed if it wasn't for the franchise, wouldn't have existed if it wasn't for Dave and company. I can't wait to see what he does after the gloves come off.
When you talk,
I think
yeah, go ahead.
I think he's gonna totally make a shift. My prediction.
Me too.
I think he sees himself as a Broadway performer. I bet you he does a Broadway show. I could see him in a Sondheim.
He did Sondheim a lot.
Yeah, I could see him in a
Yeah.
Sondheim revival of some. If he's too old for company. I could see him doing Sweeney Todd. I could see him doing something. I think he.
But
I'd go see him on Broadway. I would totally go go and pay a ticket.
Well,
As would I. Hey,
watch
I'd see Steven in anything. I adore him.
I'll tell you though, if I were Netflix, if I were the head of Netflix, who's they got more money than they know what to do with. They puke money. They should just say, we want to rent the theater. We want you to keep doing the same show. Come over to Netflix.
Yeah,
And do it
they should.
for
You're
nights.
that'd be
that's
great.
And they can afford it. They can afford it more than CBS could afford it.
You're absolutely
Well, then
right.
they'd have the Ed Sullivan Theater to do whatever they want to do. I mean, if they got them 2 or 3 nights a week or something like that, or they would have a wonderful venue that they could then put some of their specials
Yeah,
onto. I mean, they could use for
absolutely.
stand-up specials. Look how into stand-up specials they are right now. You'd have the Ed Sullivan Theater, which would be perfect for a stand-up special.
Yeah,
You're right. They should buy the theater.
Yep. Yep.
They should buy. Hey, look, they do that they're doing it with movie houses. They bought the Paris Theater in Manhattan.
Yep.
They bought the theater that in the Pacific Palisades, which was a brand new theater. They bought that.
Netflix bought them.
They bought them with the
Really?
sole purpose. I'll tell you why they bought them.
Yeah.
So that all of their, in order to qualify for the Academy Award
Okay, yeah.
nominations, their films have to have a commercial release in a theater for X amount of
I
weeks.
think it's one day actually.
Is it one day?
It's
Really?
one
Wow.
day, yeah.
So they bought all these theaters just to release their films that they've produced, so they're Academy eligible.
But I
So
think they've got more money to do shows with than CBS has.
Oh
Yeah.
God, yes, God, yes.
But
Yeah.
you were asking Mike about what Colbert might do or not be able to do in the next 10 months.
Yep.
South Park already did it. They signed a $1.25 billion contract with CBS. And as soon as the ink wasn't even while the ink was dry, they did this episode that was completely the biggest takedown of Trump I've seen.
Oh
You
God.
know.
It was so good.
An animated Trump with a small penis, and they didn't even blur out
In
the
bed
small
with the
penis.
devil.
In bed with the
Satan.
devil. I mean, just amazing. So really, that gives you a certain freedom that you didn't have before, you know.
So
Yeah.
true.
And
So true.
he's got freedom now to do almost anything. And what are you going to do? Fire me? You know.
You know something, and that was, Letterman invented himself when his morning show was, as Mike knows well, when his morning show was canceled, all bets were off. He just
Yep.
went crazy and did whatever he wanted, and that's when he became the late night David Letterman. We always looked at those last days of his morning show as the pilot for the late night show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Colbert has that same chance. I don't
Totally.
know if he's going to squander it, but he's got a great opportunity to become a voice, become a legitimate voice, and nobody's going to stop him. I mean, look, when Letterman got canceled, when Letterman not got canceled, but when he decided to leave CBS, and that's when he made fun of all the executives, and he did, the executive of the week, and he was beating up on Warren Littlefield and John Agolia, and he had their pictures framed on the set, and that's when all hell broke loose, and they were fantastic.
Did you
Yep.
feel? I often tell Marjorie, that my wife, that because she's not familiar that much with Dave, as I said, because she didn't, she didn't stay up that late. She didn't have any life before me, in other words. But anyway, I told her, I said, the Late Show was infinitely better. Excuse me, the Late Night was infinitely better than the Late Show, because Dave said, to hell with it. We can do anything here. The executives are asleep by now,
Yeah.
And then when it went to CBS, he had to look a little better. The set was a little bit, everything was more formal, and he didn't have that same loose quality.
No, but he eventually got to that
it was
point.
a great show.
And something, I'll take some of that responsibility. That wasn't all about his performance. I remember when we got the show
Yeah.
at CBS, I had a talk with him, and I said, "Look, we're in the big room now. We're not in the lounge anymore."
Yep.
And I think at 12:30 we celebrated failure. When somebody fucked up, we took a shot of that guy.
Yeah.
And, I'll never forget the famous one, and Hal Gurney and all his genius. The famous one was when Kmar the magician was doing some trick where he had to levitate Letterman, and he was on this flat table that was masked by some drape, some fabric drapery, and he had to press the foot pedal to make Letterman levitate. And he did it the first time. He's pushing the pedal, and it doesn't work. And he does it again, and you see him actually stepping on a pedal. And Hal gets the shot, and then follows the cable to the outlet where it's not plugged in.
I've never
And it
seen
saved,
that.
and it saved the bit. It made the bit worth every penny.
Yep.
It was great.
Well, what you
but
built,
but we were celebrating failure.
Well, yeah. What I was going to say, what you had on that show was that you could try anything, and even if it failed, it was entertaining.
Yeah. It was more entertaining.
Yeah, you couldn't
Yeah.
do that though when you went to CBS because
No, we did it to an extent, but it was like Johnny Carson did it. If a joke failed in his monologue,
Yeah.
he brought attention to it.
Yes.
And I think we wanted to grow up a little bit, but we reverted back. We reverted back to infancy.
you know a little bit about the Carson show. Didn't he build in a bad joke so that he could do that? So that he could
Something I've never heard that before, but it makes a hell of a lot of sense.
Yeah.
That was Dave's theory. Dave's theory was that every once in a while he would put in a bit of a dud, so they could start playing T for two, and Johnny would actually start to enjoy the celebration
yeah.
of, the taking it out to that perspective.
Well, he was
also
the best
think-
at recovery. He was the best at it.
Yep.
Tell people about the 3-joke deal at the beginning of the show. Letterman on Late Night never told more than 3 jokes.
Well, what happened was, and it predated me as a producer. It was when Barry was the producer. When we first went on the air, we were partially owned by Carson Productions.
Right. First half
So,
hour, I think, or something like
yes.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, because he was giving up that half hour. That was his. Originally, the Tonight Show was 90 minutes, blah blah blah, and then the Tomorrow Show, and all that nonsense. But they sat us down. They sat Barry down, and they said, "Look, here are the rules. You can't have a monologue. You could do jokes. He could do 3 jokes, but a monologue is owned by Johnny. Johnny is the master of the monologue." They said we couldn't have horns in our band because Johnny has horns in his band. They said they then went through a list of guests that we couldn't have, and they were, Stephen Eady and Don Rickles and Joe Williams and
But not not
oh,
Kmar the magician.
not Kmart, and as a result, we forged an identity from our restrictions with the music. We had to have rock music, and
Yeah.
we hired Paul, and the rest is history. We had to have, you know, he didn't do a monologue. Eventually, he got to doing a monologue, and they kind of ignored it because it was a different kind of monologue.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
but they gave us, and obviously we didn't want those guests. We weren't having,
But yet, didn't those limitations define who you were?
Yes, that's exactly right.
Yeah.
That gave us our identity. That's what made the show. We were forced to find the watermelon champion grower and the whatever it was from whatever state fair. Those were our stars.
Shout out to Madeline Smithberg on
I was
that one
just-
because that's
I
what
was
she did
just-
early on.
I was just going to give Madeline that shout out.
Yeah.
She was the best at it. She was
Yep.
the best at it.
Yeah.
So funny.
That's a standard question that I ask one of the writers from the early days on our show do you prefer the open field or do you prefer the parameters? Like I asked that to Steve O'Donnell. And the thing is, when they give you these rules, it almost makes it better for the writers because then they can go and find ways to stay within the rules that are clever and more creative. And it actually is it's an advantage.
And less derivative. I mean,
that's right.
I found that when I was given a set of rules, what I did, excuse me.
When was the last time you were given a set of rules? Come on.
When I first went to one station, I was given a set of rules. Back in
MCA?
San Francisco.
WMCA?
No, San Francisco.
San Francisco.
Everybody always wanted to see how much music they could make me play. And I didn't want to play music. In fact, I had usually put in my contract that I wouldn't play music. And the reason wasn't that I hated music, but that I just didn't want to be strapped down to being a disc jockey.
Yeah.
And so this one station said they tried to get really mean with me, and they said, we want you to play as many records per hour as you possibly can. So in one case, I said, I've been asked by the management of this station to play more music. So what I'm doing, we're in stereo. On one channel, you're going to hear the show. On the other channel, you're going to hear nothing but music. And I did that. I played music on one channel and did my show on the other.
Oh, is that
That's
funny?
That's
That's great.
fantastic.
And
I'm going to move out of the sun because I can't see you. Hold on one second.
No problem.
Yeah.
Can you still see me?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, fine.
Yeah,
Okay.
clear as a bell.
Good. Now I can see you guys. All right.
And they then after the show came in, they said, "You can't do that. That will confuse people who don't have stereo radios." I said, "Screw them." I said, "You wanted music, you got music."
That's funny.
The next,
Did you have to follow a playlist, or did you produce the music to fit the conversation?
I can't even remember. It might have been a playlist,
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
then I got it again at the next station I went to. And I said, "Look, I don't play music, okay?" And they said, "Well, we'd like you to play some music. Play at least 3 or 4 records an hour." And I went, "I don't want to do that, but I'll try." So what I did is I went out. There are records that are like anywhere from 60 to 90 seconds long. I mean, actual records by big groups and so on. The Beatles even did some that were that short, okay?
Just to give you the segue.
So I got all the short records I could find, and I said, we're now going to play them this hour. And I managed to play in an hour something like 30 records.
That's funny.
And I then, from then on, said, this is your most music morning program. And I just,
That's great.
But I did everything I could to bend the rules so that we could get away with it, you know, and so I could just let the audience know basically I'm pissed, you know.
It's interesting that talent would do those 90-second things.
Yeah.
That's when during the days when you could get talent to do things.
Well,
Before you'd get them into a station and you'd just have them record every promo and those were the days.
Well, I grew up in radio where I was kind of being asked to be an entertainer. You know, you had the disc jockey, he did jokes and he did bits and he did things like that. And then he played a record, you know, and whatever. And so that was the radio I grew up in.
Yeah.
And that was the radio I didn't want to give up, you know.
Nope.
So,
well, you were great at it. That's also.
I thank you, Morty. From you, it's a compliment.
And
You know.
it's absolutely
Hey, listen,
the
I
truth.
notice we're running out of time here, but why don't you stay there and we'll do another one of these, okay? Just stay right where you are, okay?
Yeah,
Ladies and gentlemen, that's Bob Morton. He was formerly the producer of Late
Executive
Night.
producer.
Executive producer on Late Night with David Letterman and later on The Late Show with David Letterman. And that's Mike Chisholm. He's nobody in particular, okay?
Especially today.
Yeah, especially today. We'll be back probably with them in a couple of weeks. Bye.
C'est Gabnet, la grande broadcast Network ricain. Parlez radio comme vous n'en avez jamais entendu.
Oh, that's in French. I thought that would be nice. Okay. Hey, listen, thank you so much to Bob Morton for being with us and to Mike Chisholm, who set the whole thing up. And Mike Chisholm was just supposed to do a thing with me, and he gave it all up for Bob Morton. And by the way, there is a second part to that interview. And that second part will be heard here next week on Thursday. Okay? And if you missed it, too bad. Okay? Maybe I shouldn't even put the show on or anything. So if you don't listen, you don't get it, you know. But anyway, because there were only about 23 people watching when it was running, and now they'll go back, of course, and they'll watch the damn thing. But, you know, whatever. We only have one person waiting tonight. That is not enough, okay? That is not enough. And it's Jeff Stein, who's a very nice guy, and I love Jeff, and I love talking to him. But if he's the only guy, he hardly ever talks on the show. So if all I have is Jeff Stein, I don't really have much of anybody. And, you know, maybe I just might call it quits here. I always threaten that, and then all of a sudden people start calling. But I don't know that I'm going to wait for them. Okay, I'm sorry if you didn't want to call the show tonight. Let me just say thank you to Jeff Stein here. We'll bring Jeff in here, and we'll see if he's there. Are you there, Jeff? Yeah, you're there, Jeff?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's there. He's there. Okay. Anyway, there's nobody calling, Jeff.
Sorry.
Yeah, there's nobody calling.
Well, let's go home.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to sleep. I'll, you know, but I wanted to let you know that I appreciate you calling. Oh, here comes somebody else. Here comes Tom Yamaguchi. Okay, that's okay. Then that's somebody, and then there is Alan. Here, and Tom, whenever he hears that I haven't got any callers, takes pity on me.
Yes, I'm taking pity on you.
Were you taking pity on me?
I am.
Yeah. See, he was. And then, of course, there's Alan, whose whole full face we never see because he's always looking down. Oh, well, maybe you should look down. Yeah, it would be better for all of us. Anyway, how you doing, Tom?
Good.
Yeah? Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. Did you just hear the interview with Morty, or did you miss it?
I caught about half of it.
Yeah, yeah. Interesting guy.
It is. I'll go back and listen to it later.
If anybody ever saw the movie they made about the Leno Letterman thing, and when CBS hired Letterman, and Letterman left NBC, Morty is a big character in that. You know, he was very instrumental in Dave getting the job at CBS. You know, He, in fact, is the guy that called up Mike Ovitz, the big agent, right? And said, you got to handle Dave. You got to get Dave through this, right? And so Ovitz did, and they held this these gatherings of the various networks to offer Dave jobs. And the one he ultimately took, of course, was CBS. But if nobody's seen that movie, it's on. I think it's still on HBO. You can still get it on HBO. It's called Late Night, I think. It's a great story. It's a great moment.
Based on a book? Was there a book?
Well, there was a
about
book. Yeah, it's based on the book, which was by this. What's his name now? I can't remember his name offhand, off the top of my head.
I know, I didn't read it.
Yeah, no, but it's a great book. It's
Okay.
it's amazing all the kinds of tactics that are used to do something and not do something, and he was the whole thing that got Mike Ovitz to come in, who was the king of the agents. And he literally set up a situation in which, like, NBC said, well, we're not going to let him out of his contract. He's still got 2 years to go. And he finagled the whole thing so they would let him go if they had first choice to pick him up. And one thing led to another. You got to read the book, or you got to see the TV show and see the mechanics of something like that. It's just amazing. But, whatever. So, and Alan, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. Sorry, I was just finishing my burrito that the neighbor made.
Your neighbor made you a burrito?
Made a bunch of burritos for a bunch of the neighbors. A Mexican lady, older.
Really?
And she does that every now and then. They're really good.
They got to be good, I would imagine. I mean, if it's an old lady and she's Mexican.
She's 80 something years old, and she makes all kinds of Mexican food. She's always bringing it around and everything like that. And
Gee, maybe I should do that for my neighbors. Maybe I should start cooking stuff and taking it over to the neighbors.
yeah, Alex Bennett stir fry show. Alex Bennett microwave.
No, actually, I can cook, when I want to.
I can't.
Yeah, I can. In fact, there was a time when I had a wife leave me. Did I only have one wife leave me? Yeah, only one wife left me.
Ronnie.
And after she left, I realized that I didn't know how to cook. I didn't even know how to boil water. So I decided to teach myself to cook. So I went out and got a cooking book, and I went out and got utensils and everything I would need to cook. And I would, every couple of days, look at one of the recipes in a cookbook, in these cookbooks. And I think it was I can't remember which one it was, but it was a lot of stuff. It was really a lot of stuff. And I would make it. I would do all kinds of things, brandied this and cook that, and it was terrific. And I decided I was never, and I also taught myself how to sew, and I taught myself how to do all the things so that if a woman ever left me again, I wouldn't be in dire straits, Hello to Don Giller. Hello, Don.
Hi, I'm just here for a second.
Yeah.
A Late Shift by Bill Carter.
But Late Shift by Bill Carter. Did you hear the interview with Morty?
Yeah, Mike sent me the raw footage when it was taped.
Oh, I see. So you got it special. It's a good one.
Yeah, Morty got a little mixed up because I just double checked the Kmart thing. Hal did get a shot of Kmart trying to press the pedal, but there was no shot of the cord not being plugged in.
Oh, I see. Okay.
That didn't happen.
Yeah, but
That would be great.
otherwise, Morty was pretty well, had good recall on all of that.
He said he was talking about Dave making fun of the executives, and he was and he said it was late show, but he just misspoke. It was late night.
It was late night. It was the early show. It was an NBC show.
Yeah, starting
he
in.
he used to just ridicule them terribly.
Yeah. So he just misspoke. That's the only thing.
Well, he hated Westinghouse, I think. You know, when they bought the network, he just felt he did not like being run by a company that knew less about show business than they did about toasters. You know.
Right.
And
I have. Do you remember the visit to GE that Dave made when he goes to headquarters? Shecky had and I made a copy of raw footage of that remote, where a lot more happens that they cut out.
What more happened? This was the thing where Dave went to GE to welcome them to the network, and he brought a basket of fruit, I guess fruit basket. And the guy who greets him is humorless. You can't enter this building. Well, we're just here to welcome GE to the, it wasn't Westinghouse, it was GE, GE to the network.
Yeah, Westinghouse was ABC. Westinghouse was ABC.
No, Westinghouse was Group W.
Or Group W, which was ABC.
No, I worked for Group W.
ABC was Westinghouse.
ABC was not Westinghouse.
I remember it.
I think you're wrong. ABC was in fact owned by the guy who owned a movie chain, chain of theaters, and he sold it then to, I think, what was it? Somebody else. But it was never, Westinghouse never owned ABC.
You're probably right. I'm checking here.
Yeah. Wait a minute. While, of course, Don Gillard tries to prove me wrong.
Yeah. What was I thinking?
Well, everybody's willing to think I'm wrong, but it never happens. You can't find
number one.
You know what? I apologize. I was thinking of Boston's radio station WBZ.
Yes. Okay.
That was Group W Westinghouse.
Yes,
that's what I was thinking.
I worked for Group W Westinghouse in Chicago, at WIND in Chicago, and that was Group W. Yeah.
Yeah, so it was WBZ. I apologize. I was completely wrong. I mixed up BZ with ABC.
Group W was a big player in the business for a long time, in the broadcast business. They had TV stations. They had syndicated programs. The Mike Douglas Show was Group W.
Right.
Yeah.
So anyway, so Dave, after the encounter with the with the security guy, the security guy goes into this little conference room, because Dave said go talk to Hal. He's in the conference room, and so they're talking, and Dave's talking to himself, saying, "This is really fucked up." And then they go out, and then Dave does an outro, and Steve O'Donnell is yelling through a fake megaphone, saying, "Get off the property." That was Steve O'Donnell who did that. And Steve is feeding Dave lines as to how to close the segment.
That guy from GE did not have a lot of sense of humor at all.
But Dave was saying he's just doing his job.
Yeah, but he was just doing his job. But he could have been a little different. He could have handled it differently. He saw there were cameras there. He saw there were microphones there. What you do in that case is you just show a certain sense of humor about the situations. I can't really let you in. It's my job to keep you out. But thank you so much for coming by. And I'll take this basket upstairs.
Shecky said I was forbidden to ever upload it. So I never put it up on YouTube.
Could you send it to me?
Shecky forbid it.
Oh, but you're not uploading it to the web. You just
and anyway, and he's dead, so he won't.
Well, if I asked Shecky for it, he would have given it to me.
But he didn't. He gave it to me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, He told me that ABC was Westinghouse.
He gave me a disc of every Darlene Love Christmas song, Christmas, every performance.
How long ago?
How long ago?
Yeah, was it?
Before he died, you know.
Well, I'm wondering if because I uploaded all of her performances on YouTube.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering if I don't know. That's why I'm asking.
No, he had them. He had them, I believe, and he had made a compilation of them for everybody on the show to be able to have. So, yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't think it was yours.
Yeah, it probably.
It didn't. I swear to you, I smelled it. It didn't smell of Don Giller.
Yeah, and you would have known.
I would have known. Yeah. But no, but he never told me he had that GE thing. That would have been wonderful. I would love to see that.
Anyway, I gotta go.
Oh, okay. All right. What are you doing? You got work?
I'm digitizing reel-to-reel tapes.
Oh boy. Okay, I got a few here I might want you to do for me, okay?
Well, send it over.
Okay. Everybody say goodbye to Don Giller, ladies and gentlemen.
Wait a minute, where am I going here?
I can get rid of you.
That's a good question.
Okay, I can get rid of you. I can just go.
There it is.
Oh, okay. Do it. Can you do it? Even Jeff could do that. Jeez. Guy by the name of Roger H. wants to come on. I don't believe in him. Okay, although I could just put my face up here, see, like that, and then I could bring him in and see if he is anybody, and if he isn't, it doesn't really matter. Okay, I'll turn the audio off as well. Joining, no, he's not joining. Okay, he's trying to join, but he's not joining. No. Yeah, he's just. It's just not happening there for him. Okay, let me see here. Let me go here. How do I get him? How do I get him out of here? I can't get him to stop. Okay. Oh well. Let's see here. More. No, I can't get it to stop, is what the problem is. I'm trying to do it, and it just won't, it won't stop. It says joining, but then it won't, he went away. Okay, thank you very much. There he went away. Okay. Anyway, let me, I'll put you guys back on. I just wanted to see who that guy was. I just didn't, I see. I got to turn that up.
I'm getting tired of the same old people, honestly.
Wait a minute. The same old people what?
Yeah, it's just the same people every night. So it'd be nice to have somebody new.
Jeff, he just called us old.
Yeah, we are old.
Well, here's the problem, Jeff. Tom. Let me explain it to you. These guys call, and they want to do. They start playing a tape of some guy, with a dildo up various orifices and things like that, And but granted, somebody might call who really genuinely wants to call the program. But if the name is strange to me, I'm afraid to answer it. That's why I answered that one. Right, I figured, let's just see. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't. I love the people that call this program, but it's the same people all the time because I don't add people because I'm afraid they might be pranking us. Yeah. All right. So I don't know what to do about that.
Get a producer. Get somebody to, as I said before, get a producer that can work at in a different, like a breakout room or something like that. And then when people come in, he can transfer people, or she, or they can transfer.
It can't be done.
You sure it can't be done?
It can't be done with Zoom. No.
Okay.
No, I mean, they could sign on, and they could see what people were trying to get on, and I see them too. Okay? But they couldn't go to them and look at them separately from putting them on the air. Okay? The only time we would actually see them if I put them on the air. That's why I just went to a picture of me and turned off the audio, because if it was a prank, terrible, But if it is just somebody who really wants to come on here, then I would like to have them come on too. So that's my.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
I wish there were. I wish we were able to do that. And I think with Skype, I'm trying to remember. With Skype, I think I actually could have a separate producer putting stuff ahead and throwing it over to me. But this won't do it. Zoom is pretty much like Zoom is here, and So
another
anyway,
thing you might consider is Substack, because Substack does live video now. So you might want to have what you could do is you could get subscribers, and when people subscribe, then you give them access to the video.
well, what is Substack?
Substack is a publishing platform, and so there are people that write regular columns. People can subscribe as paid subscribers, or they can just subscribe for free.
Yeah.
So, but a lot of what a lot of people on the platform will do is they will offer more benefits to people who actually pay. So that could include, access to live videos or whatever.
Yeah,
So
I don't know if that's
it's a very popular platform.
I don't know if that would work here. I really don't.
That's what I do.
What?
I don't know. Just change the subject here for just a second.
Sure, go
Well, you
ahead.
always
Golden
change the
State-
subject.
Right now.
In this case, it's fine. Go ahead, Jason.
Yeah. Okay, the Golden State Valkyries, which is the Women's National Basketball League based in San Francisco, California. Somebody in the crowd earlier this week at one of their games threw a dildo onto the whatever the area, the playing field. I don't know what it's called.
It's called the basketball court.
Right, threw a dildo onto it. It was.
I'm glad you could remember the word dildo. Go ahead.
Well, I just remembered it when you said it earlier.
Well, what is that? What is that all about? Why did you interrupt us for that?
Because Tom was going nowhere.
Well, that went nowhere too.
Yeah, well, a lot of people are laughing. Now they're going to go Google it and.
Okay. Well, shall we go somewhere then?
When did they throw the?
Sometime this week, earlier in the week before the show.
So it isn't even a news story.
Well, you want a news story? Tune to Fox News.
Well, or you want a news story? How about Kamala Harris?
Yeah, that she isn't running for governor.
She's not running for governor. Yeah.
Why do you think she's not running for governor?
She's running for president.
You think so?
She plans on running for president.
Really?
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I bet she. I mean, it's going to be a lot of people in 2028.
There might be.
I would like to see a woman president while I'm still alive, but I don't know that she's going to be the woman to do it.
Yeah, I don't know. See.
That's interesting. I wouldn't think she'd want to try that again.
Why not?
Well, why?
It came close.
Twice, I guess, maybe.
Came close.
Well, she came close, but, close doesn't win this.
Okay.
So you either win it or you lose it. And, I mean, Hillary came close, too.
Yeah.
But I don't think she wanted to put herself through that again.
But Hillary Clinton is much older, too.
Yeah. I think the
Harris
problem.
is younger.
Yeah, the problem is I just don't think she would be accepted by the party at this point, because she's got loser breath all over her.
We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, I like her. I think she's terrific.
I do too.
If she runs and she wins, Alex will cook you dinner, Tom.
That's right. I will fly out there and I'll take you out to dinner.
Okay. All right. Okay.
I don't think she'd get a nomination again.
I don't think so.
I don't know if she would have gotten a nomination if she had just thrown her hat in the ring, because Biden wasn't going to run again. So, just because you're vice president doesn't guarantee you,
Well, it certainly didn't in her case.
Yeah.
Well, it does put you at an advantage.
However, the other big story is that Pete Hegseth is considering running for governor of Tennessee.
Lucky them.
Well, do you think he's even got a chance?
Boy, I hope so. Get rid of him out of the U.S. government. Oh.
Yeah.
Or maybe he's looking for a way to get out of the Pentagon.
Well, certainly it's a job he was never suited to do.
Right.
You know, I mean, it's amazing that anybody as inexperienced as he is. I mean, what? It was a talk show. It was a Fox News host. So does it matter? I don't understand.
The guy certainly knows how to connect his wife and the rest of the world to, military operations accidentally on Zoom.
His wife?
Yeah, about a week after the thing where the military operation was going on, we were doing some bombing or something, and it went out to journalists and stuff. About a week later or 2 weeks later, he was in a top secret confidential meeting with the president or something like that, and he connected his wife by accident.
I think he said he added her to his list on purpose, that he wanted her opinion or something.
Oh.
I mean, I'm not making an excuse for that. This is confidential material that shouldn't be shared with anyone.
That's right.
Okay. Oh, what a clown show this whole thing
Let him
is.
go to Tennessee. Get out of the U.S. limelight, or out of the U.S.
Yeah, Kristi Noem was down in Brazil making some kind of trip down there for goodwill or something, and riding horses and making videotapes of it.
Good, maybe they'll keep her.
That could be too. But she shot the horse, so it was,
And it was the president of that country's horse.
What? How's that a joke?
I don't know. It's a smart-ass remark.
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, it doesn't make sense. I was making a joke.
Phil Meyer's right.
Let me just back up and remind you that she's the one that killed her dog.
Yes.
Cricket.
Oh,
and then she killed she killed a goat.
Yeah.
And what was it on the Daily Show? They said, she killed a goat because she wanted to keep its mouth shut. Because it was, Anyway, so we had Kristi Noem down there. I mean, this whole thing's a clown show. People have basically not any competence at all, and the only one I think that even comes close is what's his name, little Marco Rubio. And he has some competence, but unfortunately, because he's so busy kissing Donald's ass, he doesn't do the job he's supposed to be doing. Okay, and so that's his problem, So, what the hell, I just don't know. I fear for this country. I just fear for it. This is going to go on for another 3.5 years.
Right.
I mean, by that time, he could totally ruin this country.
And the planet.
Yeah. I mean, we backed off on any kind of work on, saving the planet, as was evident a few days ago, when they announced that there wasn't going to be any more of that, those what's the word I'm looking for? To help me out, Tom.
Environmental.
Well, basically, the Obama came. I forgot the exact phrase now, but they had a rule that said that because carbon or greenhouse gases in the atmosphere is a public health threat, that the EPA needed to regulate it, and the Supreme Court ruled yes, you need to regulate it. This is what fits under the Clean Air Act. And now the Trump people were, or was it Lee
But
Zeldin,
the
whatever.
EPA,
EPA
yeah.
says, no, we're not going to regulate greenhouse gases anymore because global warming is a hoax. And they're going to produce some kind of paper to prove that global warming is a hoax.
How do you
So I'm
look,
waiting for that.
how do you
That'll be
look at
fun
the
to watch.
news every night and not think there's global warming? You know? I mean,
Well,
and by global
these
warming,
people are in denial.
people have to understand global warming has nothing to do with what you think. It isn't suddenly the weather automatically changes, but it does change because global warming creates it. Global warming, people go, oh, I haven't been that hot. It hasn't been that hot this winter. Well, that doesn't mean you don't have global warming.
Yeah.
You know, it's that your planet is just off kilter.
Yeah, it's what I use like the metaphor of the loaded dice. So if each roll of the dice is a weather event, you know, the dice themselves are the parameters of the climate. So as we keep loading the dice, then we have these more extreme weather events. So for instance, the Atlantic Ocean keeps getting warmer and warmer. So therefore, well, there's always been, you know, monster hurricanes, but now we've got more monster hurricanes, even more frequent.
Well, the reason is,
and
of
more
course,
destructive. They're carrying more water.
Well, the reason is because the ocean is warmer and hurricanes thrive on that.
Right, exactly.
You know, and yet everybody goes, well, no, global warming is a myth. It's a hoax. Well, try to tell nature that. It's you know, it's not a hoax. And I was saying last...
climate scientists that who have been studying it for decades.
Yeah, well, I was saying last night, and I've said it to Lori when I was talking to her, that I just think nature is a sentient being that is finally pissed off with us and says, you know, you can't get away with this that long. You can't screw around with with Mother Nature. And we really can't, because it's only going to come home to roost. And it, you know, and the more we deny it, that's just stupidity. You know, what, Donald Trump? You're a scientist? All of a sudden, you know science? No, you don't know anything about science, and that's the problem. You know, so.
Well, we've just given up our position on energy to other countries like China. That's what we've done. You know. And now it's other countries that will be developing these technologies, and we're just going to
right.
We're just going to end up being a third world country.
I mean, Donald Trump makes fun of windmills.
They're not windmills; they're wind generators. It's like Don Key Trumpy or whatever.
They're electric generators.
We're not grinding. We're generating electricity. We're not grinding grain. You know, it's like they're wind turbines.
Right, windmills did grain, basically.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're not milling grain.
Well, I mean, it's you know, the fact is that these whatever you want to call them, wind turbines, I think is the proper term.
Yes.
Yeah. Is an answer. You know. I mean, I agree. If you want to say they're kind of ugly, I don't know if you've ever been out past the other
the
side.
Altamont Pass.
the Altamont Pass.
They're really weird to see at night because they've got these flashing red lights on them.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like I was coming back with a friend from Stockton, and I was looking right over to the west, and I see these flashes of red. I go, what is that? And then when we got to I-580 over the Altamont Pass, we was, that's the wind turbines. They've got, you know, so they don't get hit by aircraft, you know. But they're really weird to look at night.
Well, they say you know. Also, Trump says they kill birds.
They do.
You know what? Outdoor cats kill more birds each year than all. This is true.
Yeah,
this is true. I'm quoting, referring to a climate scientist, Dr. Catherine Hayhoe. She's done that research, and it turns out that outdoor cats kill more birds than wind turbines.
Oh, I'm sure.
That's terrific. And then they bring them home and drop them at your feet.
That's right. Look what I get. Look, I got a present for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you love me now?
No, but he says, "Oh, birds get hurt by wind turbines." I'm going, so
Yeah.
what's a few birds to save the planet? But I happen to agree. I mean, if you want to say they're ugly, I always used to go through the Altamont Pass and say, this is not really attractive, you know. But I know what it's trying to do, so I'm not going to let my eyes offend me.
It's really a good use of the hills. It's windy up there a lot, and it's high up, and nobody's building up there.
My
so
question is, though, how much electricity does it generate? In other words, enough that people are saving money like crazy, and
I don't
people
know
are being.
about saving money, but it certainly generates enough for a small town. I mean, there's thousands of them up there. You can find them on the way to there's other places in California on the way to Las Vegas through the Mojave Desert where it's really windy. They're out there too.
Yeah, solar is kind of interesting too. But it's still, the question is, how much can solar generate? You know, people go, well, there's some days when it's not sunny. Well, those are the days you've stored electricity in your home. And by the way, the electricity that you get with your solar panels that you don't use, you can sell back to the electric company.
Yeah.
There's a whole retrieving system that they have.
Right.
You know.
That's the way they got it
The
designed.
windmills and solar in the Bay Area must be providing enough electricity to keep our bills lower than your $700 a month electric bill.
I only wish I had solar here, you know. I only wish I had solar here, but I don't. You know, I can't. Well, what am I going to do? I live in an apartment house, you know. And we have a thing here called Con Ed that gets away with murder. They just got the ability to raise their electric rates again.
We had in the past year, I think, we had 5 raises by Pacific Gas and Electric.
Oh, really?
Rates in the Bay Area in California.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is PG&E pretty terrible that way too?
Oh yeah.
I mean, what's your electric bill like?
I get electric and gas from them, so they provide both, and it's between $400 and $450 a month.
There we go. There we go. Mine comes close to this time of the year. I wouldn't be surprised if we get a bill for at least $600.
Right. And yours is just electric. It's not gas.
I have the air conditioning on.
Right.
You know. Plus, I have this studio, which, you know, it doesn't use that much electricity. You know, these computers don't eat up a lot of electricity. But you know, we get a bill, $600. Huh? Well, that's living life large. You know. Hello, Bree. How you doing there? How you doing?
My electric bill is not too bad. It used to be, but it's between $70 and $100.
Oh, okay. So you have Con Ed there in Malaysia.
No. I don't know what they call it. It's TNB.
But my question is, do you have? Well, look, looking right above your head, you have an air conditioner up there.
Yeah. Yeah, that's how they always do
that a
it.
heat pump?
Huh?
What?
Heat pump?
No. I mean, I don't know.
No,
this is the way they always do
That's
it.
an air conditioner that they put up on your walls, and I think it goes to the outside, does it, or something?
Yeah.
It's called the split system.
A split system? Is that what it's called?
It's always that way.
That's what she called it. A split system. Okay. So, I mean, and it air conditions really well, right?
Yeah, it's okay. But, you know, when I want to go out to the kitchen, then it's like, well, you know, it's a little hotter. Then I come back in, it's cooler.
Is that trying to rather air condition the entire house or apartment?
No, they have one of these for every room.
Okay.
And if the room is big enough, they'll have 2 or 3. But they always use these. They never have central.
And do they run automatically on their own? Depending.
No,
you have to
turn them on and turn them off.
Oh, okay.
And so if I don't run them at all, my electric bill would be $50. Mm-hmm. But it's another 20, 30. I run them at night. But my water bill, no, I can leave
Well, wait a minute.
my shower.
You live in Kuala Lumpur, right?
That's right.
It's got to be hot there.
Sort of. It's never extremely hot.
Really?
But it never gets cold.
But you're in the jungle.
It's 87 degrees right now.
Well, that's hot.
Yeah. It's always between 70 and 90, like that.
That's hot.
I mean, yeah, but you get used to it.
It's a dry heat?
No.
Oh,
no,
see? Okay, well. Because people go, it's a dry heat, you know.
There are some people I've met who don't like to live in this area because of this, this sort of humid film that you feel a lot. But you just get used to it. And as long as you know where you're going and when and how, you're going to be okay. It's when you just sort of go out and you want to just walk around, well, you're going to be sweating.
Well, I have this argument with Marjorie all the time. Tonight, I go into the bedroom where she's watching stuff from where I am, in another room playing my video games, and I walk in, and we have an air conditioner going most of the time there during the summer, and it's uncomfortable. And I said, why'd you turn off the air conditioner? She says, I opened the window, and I went, yeah, but don't you she says, the temperature's only 71 degrees out there. I said, that's fine, but don't you understand it's also humid? And the other thing an air conditioner does is do away with the humidity in the apartment. And what's happened is, no, we don't have the hot. We have the humidity in this room, and it's uncomfortable. So she had me close the window, and she turned it back on.
That was nice of her.
Well, we have this argument, I told you about this last night, that over and over again about during hot weather, she likes to open the windows. And my argument is, that doesn't help, because what you're letting is the hot air in. Now, granted, when you close the window, it's still going to get hot in here, but it's not going to get as hot as if you got almost 100-degree day, which we did the other day. You got all that heat coming in. Am I right or am I wrong?
You're absolutely
You're right.
Yeah.
If you were living where I'm living now, you'd be wrong, because I'm right by the Gold Gate.
Well, come on. No, come on. That's a whole different ball of wax, Okay. I mean, I lived in the Bay Area, and with San Francisco, I used to refer to it as America's only air-conditioned city.
Well, so is Berkeley.
Singapore is the air-conditioned nation.
Oh, really?
I was just going to say that. I'm sorry, Bree, go ahead.
Yeah, there's a book named that a friend of mine wrote.
I was just going to say, when Tom said I live right by the Golden Gate, I thought, doesn't Tom live in Berkeley? That's not right by the Golden Gate.
Yeah, well, he lives in
right across from the Golden Gate Bridge.
I know. I grew up in the Bay Area. I know where Berkeley's at.
I've never had a night it was so hot I couldn't sleep.
Really?
It's always cool at night.
Yeah.
And you've never had a Singapore?
I don't have air conditioning.
The air conditioned. What's the last thing? Nation.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh boy. Yeah, but I mean, San Francisco, that was lovely at night.
Yeah, but if you go across the bay, like where I live, because of global warming, when I was a kid.
But you're not just on the other side of the bridge. You're also on the other side of the tunnel, right?
Well, yeah, no, that's where Phil lives. No, I'm in the southern part of the bay towards San Jose, on the east side of the bay. So It used to be, when I was a kid, I grew up here, Newark, Fremont, Union City area, that type of thing. When I was a kid, it would get 100 degrees, 5 days a year or something like that, or over 100. Now it gets hotter a lot more often. I think it's global warming.
You could be in Oakland, okay, and then you could go through the tunnel. What's it called again? The
Orinda and Lafayette,
or like Larry Bubbles Brown called the Scaldalot Tunnel.
The Caldecott Tunnel.
It's called a lot.
Yeah.
Is that big one the Caldecott? I thought it was called
the
something
Caldecott,
else.
yeah,
Anyway,
yeah. Highway
you
4.
would be in
24.
you would be in Oakland, and it would be cool. You go through that tunnel, get to the other side. It's like you're burning up.
Well, you're in the Central Valley in the northern
Yeah, all of a
part
sudden you're
Central
starting to hit the valley there, and it gets really
Yep.
terrible.
Yes, it does.
You know. But anyway, so my nose looks crooked
It's
tonight.
pretty. I think it's getting warmer where I live. I think you probably get an ocean breeze, don't you, Tom? Where you're at?
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
Well,
you know,
yeah,
it's
to the
nice
Golden
you're
Gate.
talking about all of that, but I don't get any ocean breeze. Do you get an ocean breeze, Jeff, where you are?
Yes. I do.
Why? Wait a minute. Are you near the ocean?
Yeah.
You are?
Yeah.
You're in Connecticut.
Well, Connecticut is
I get a lake breeze.
in a big island there.
Yeah, but I figured you were not on that side where you were near the water.
Well, that's true.
What are you looking at?
There's
What
some
is
water.
that? Boy, are you in a tall building, Bree? How many
Yeah.
floors up are you?
Whoa.
21.
21 floors. And look all the
But-
way down. Is that a pool down there?
There's a pool.
Oh, that's
yeah.
one of the pools. That's the infinity pool.
That's the infinity pool. In other words, if you jump out the window, you're jumping into infinity.
Yes.
Boy, and what is that pond you've got there?
That's
Yeah,
the
it's a big
sewage
pond.
treatment plant.
What is it, Bree?
No,
What
it's just a lake. They call it South Key Lake and or pond, I guess. It's
It looks
I don't know
like
how
a
big does it have to be a lake versus a pond, but
From
don't know.
from that picture you showed us, it looked like a pond, but it could be a small lake.
I think
Yeah.
it's a lake.
Is it a
well,
man-made?
I'm on the 21st floor. Unfortunately, I'm not on the 23rd floor because there's 22, 23. And last night at 2 a.m. they dropped something and woke me up. So
They dropped-
this
what, do you
happens
mean
often.
what do you mean they dropped something?
Well, what floor are you on, Alex?
I am on the 8th floor, the top
Is-
floor
is-
of this building.
is there- You're on the top floor. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so you don't have this problem. If you lived on the 7th floor and you had someone above you on the 8th, you'd have this problem because basically anything they do upstairs. There's pretty good sound isolation, but it's not perfect. So if they drop something or if they yell or laugh, and I have my windows closed and my air conditioner on, I can hear them.
Really? When I
Yeah.
lived down on 14th Street here in New York at a place called the Courtney House, I lived on something like the 7th floor or something like that. And at night, I had a hard time going to sleep because it sounded like there was a dog upstairs chasing like a ball,
Yeah.
right? Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And I'm going,
Oh, God.
and I finally asked somebody what that was, whether there was a dog up there. And he said, no, there's no dog up there. I said, what is it? You said, you're hearing the rats in the superstructure of the building.
Oh, wow.
And they would run around all night.
Yeah. Well, I had the civet cats, remember, when I had the landed property.
Right.
And it's very difficult for me to find a quiet place to sleep. So if any of you, when you go to bed, you have a quiet night's sleep, consider yourself very lucky.
Well, I'm on
because
the street. I'm
Yeah.
looking out on the street, and so there's a lot of noise down there, But but you become accustomed to it.
Right, and that's the thing. Like I have to make this point to everyone. I did radio production for many years, and I executive produced bands in the studio. My ears I hear like little things that other people won't hear, and as a result, it's created a little bit of misophonia. But if the sound is recognizable and consistent, and over time, I got no problem with it. I'll sleep through it. But
if
at
you
2
go,
a.m.
that's rats, you can live with it.
Yeah, I could.
Okay.
If I knew that's what they were, but if you stand above me, like right there's my ceiling, that's his
Yeah,
floor,
yeah.
and at 2 a.m. you drop your phone and your phone charger, that's going to wake me up because it's a sudden, quick noise, that,
You're a real
that I
light
didn't
sleeper.
expect.
I feel very
Yeah.
fortunate that I live on the top floor.
Oh, yeah,
because and nobody complains about me making noise either, because this building, the walls are like, if I were to pound on, there's cement. It's
You're so lucky.
So the lower you live, the cooler the room is naturally, right?
I do not know that.
If you were
Here it's the other way.
You're in an 8-story building. If you were on the 7th story, the 8th story is absorbing, from the roof, is absorbing a lot of heat. You'll get a barrier.
Yeah, the roof one has that.
Well,
right.
You got to remember that the top. You could say my top floor is just the roof, but really built into this apartment, which already the ceiling is about 12 feet up. Okay, there is a crawl space above it.
Oh my God!
Where I've actually had my what do you call it, super, get up there and crawl through there to clean something out for me that he had to take care of, or some, bad stuff up there. But
they would never do that here, never.
But you don't have crawl space up there.
Well, I don't know. For 1 year,
if you had crawl space, you probably would not hear the noise above you.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, you're right. I mean, his floor is my ceiling.
Yeah.
And I wrote
Simon
a note.
wrote a song about that, right?
What is that?
Paul Simon wrote a song about that.
What is it? What song?
What are you holding?
One man's ceiling is another man's floor.
I have to look for that. I also see that there was a movie with a guy who had noisy neighbors, and it goes to the extreme. I can't watch it because I try to watch movies to escape, not to relive my night. But I write notes to them, and I did get a note back 2 years ago, but I don't even know if it's the same people. So I don't know. I've called the security and.
Did you write it?
I'm not.
Did you write it in English?
Yes.
Does everybody there read English?
They could read it. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The first one I wrote was in 3 languages. I had Google Translate. And I printed it, so I think they knew.
Are you the kind of neighbor that complains a lot? I think you probably are.
I don't think a lot, but I do. I let it go to a point, and then, but come on, I'll give you an example.
All right.
We have a indoor hallway. You walk over to the lift, okay? There are vents and there are windows, but it's an indoor hallway. Well, my neighbors put in an air conditioning unit in front of their door inside the indoor hallway. Well, you can't do that because it expels hot air, and there's no proper ventilation.
And so they put it up somewhere where the vent was going out into the hallway.
Right.
Yeah.
And there's no drainage there. Well, air conditioning units on the outside, they need a drain. They're going to spill water.
Right.
So water and heat comes into the path I have to take to the lift. So am I right or wrong? Am I a complainer, or is that went against
that's
code?
worth somebody complaining. Yes.
All right. Yeah. So you see, I don't complain over little stupid things, but if it's the guy downstairs, there was, I don't know, it doesn't happen anymore. He was a chain smoker, and the smoke would always come into my unit. So I complained. We're supposed to be a smoke-free building. So, I don't know. I kind of am persnickety. I don't know that I'm a complainer.
Yeah. This building has actually 4 entrances to it. It's 4 different buildings. It's called buildings, but they're not. What it is, it's kind of like they have a big place here called the Dakota, where John Lennon and Yoko Ono used to live. And they have 4 entrances. So they were in building 1, okay? We're in building 3. But it's not separate buildings, really. It's just the whole building has these separate entrances to make it more convenient to people. So, it's not we have a pretty interesting building here with a courtyard in the middle, which the landlord doesn't take good care of, but certain other people do. And it's an interesting apartment house, but it's not like for instance, I have on this floor only 3 other people on my floor. And we all know each other, and it's kind of like a little community, but we really don't know anybody else in the building. We just know the three people that live on this floor. So,
Well, I think
Yeah,
that would
mine have all
happen a lot in
changed.
apartment buildings.
what?
I said I think that would happen a lot. You know your neighbors. You're not going to know your neighbors on another floor.
That's
as
right.
a
I
rule.
mean, there are a couple of other people we know in the building, but that's very few.
Well, that's because
And
you're
there's
out.
somebody right on the opposite side of this wall here is another apartment, but as big as ours. That I think used to be part of this apartment, but as big as ours. And they every now and then, because this wall is, I think, was put up at one point to separate the apartments, and I can hear them on the other side. But they're the only people I can hear. And if I'm in the bedroom, I can't hear them at all. You know.
Oh. So lucky.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what makes having a single family home
Yeah.
nice.
How about you, Jeff?
Yeah.
How many people do you have in your apartment? You have do you have a condo? I guess, and it's was an
It's
apartment at one time.
multiple buildings,
Yeah.
and we live in that building.
Yeah. You don't have
By
a house,
yourself.
for instance. It's not a house in a neighborhood or anything.
It's a house,
Oh, it is.
yes, but I don't have the dirt around it.
What do you mean you don't have the dirt around it?
Okay, it's got sand, and then it also has grass and whatever,
Okay.
and trees and things like that. We're not supposed to be responsible for that. The roads here are all done by one
Okay,
company.
but let me ask you this: the place you live, is that a house or is it an apartment?
It's a house.
Oh, okay. All right. So you have a house on a block.
Yeah, and there's actually
On the sand?
200 of them around here connected.
And they're built on sand?
So you step out your front door, 2 or 3 steps, and you're on the street, right?
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
yeah, and you can walk around.
But it's a, it's a
and then
neighborhood
there's
with-
also a golf course connected around us.
Well, I don't want to live anywhere near golf players. I'm sorry. I set the bar that high. You know.
Well, some people see the golf course, and some people don't see none of them. So
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
depends upon what you got.
I've never.
How often do you get golf balls that come through your window?
Excuse me?
How often do you get golf balls that come through your window?
Oh, about twice a day. No, twice a day.
I mean, I know
Yeah,
people
we get
that
'em.
live on golf courses, and it happens.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of times it's just, okay, you hear it. You just
You
got
know,
it's not a big deal.
I'm going to offend a lot of people out there when I say this. I could never understand why anybody plays golf. Anybody here play golf? Any of you?
I have played golf, but not regularly.
I mean, I played golf. I just
Yeah.
can't see why anybody plays golf. Okay.
I played
Pee-wee
miniature golf.
Qualify?
Oh, pee-wee golf. I used to do miniature
Miniature
golf.
golf.
Used to
Yeah,
love.
miniature golf. That's what it's called.
Used to love miniature golf. Yes,
Right to the
absolutely.
windmill, yeah.
Yeah.
When I was a 20-year-old, I used to work at a golf course.
Wow.
And after doing that, I realized I never wanted to play golf.
Yeah,
And-
I used to play miniature golf a lot. I would. I got hooked on it actually, because you can figure out a course pretty easily, and then you can win pretty easily. You know. But I went on and played golf one day, and I think that it took me 10 hours to do like 8 holes. So it was not good.
You're not supposed to do drugs right before you get to the golf course.
Oh, no, that's the only reason to do drugs, okay? Anyway, thank you, Jeff. I really appreciate you being here tonight. And, of course, Tom, as always, a pleasure having you here. Alan, good seeing you here. And from Malaysia, ladies and gentlemen, just like he was next door, look at that picture. It's our old friend, Bree. Thank you, Bree. Is it what? That's the flag. Okay. Anyway, thank you, everybody. Wave goodbye, and I'll wave goodbye at you. Okay. There they go, folks. That's our citizen panel for tonight. There's another one getting together right after we're through here with Amy Manuel in the intersection. You can call her on Zoom, utilizing the same number that you maybe use here if you call this show a lot. However, you can go to our gabnet.net. You can go to column 3, go all the way to the bottom. It's going to say Alex Bennett. Below it, Amy Manuel. You click on that. It'll take you to her Zoom address. Anyway, I'll see you again tomorrow night. Same time, same station in life. In the meantime, if you see her, of course, tell her I love her, will you? Bye-bye, everybody.